Back to another tutorial session with Ferdouse on the Paintology drawing app. So this time we're going to do something, change it up a bit and do something different. This was yesterday's drawing of the Indian actress, Deepika, I believe. I forgot her last name, but you can see we used just the shade brush to make this drawing and showed you the power of just the shade brush and what it can do. And of course, we used it as like sort of block coloring in grayscale mode. It's a form of it's trying to use the trace method in order for you to improve your drawing skills. As you know, drawing skills, anything that develops your drawing skills are based on your ability to improve your drawing strokes, understanding of tones, appreciating what that it is that you're trying to draw. I know many of you think that you can jump straight into drawing from imagination. Honestly, you have to understand that art involves learning a lot of different techniques, new techniques that are essential to drawings. Sorry about the noise, the background, that will go soon. It's about the development of art skills, and that is learned from doing, practicing and learning and understanding your tools, not necessarily becoming a servant to the tools, but expanding what the tools can do. And therefore, I've shown you that just with the shade brush, it's possible to make drawings like this. And if you want to see it, please check it out on the live stream, the previous day's live stream, part 1 and 2. So in order to get to this tutorial and understand what I'm doing, first you need to go to the home page of paintology.com, click on daily step-by-step video tutorials, and you'll see an entire page devoted to the live stream sessions that I've been doing for about possibly 2 months here, as you can see. All right, there. And you'll see the latest one, 9th of October, starts 12:30 GMT, and the reference image you can see is the image link. And then I normally put the previous ones, the completed drawings here, which you can see. So to get to the reference image, just click on that. And this is the drawing we're going to do. So I'm going to download this image here. Okay. And then you're ready to open it up in your Paintology app. You can go through all the other live streams with the completed drawings, like this one, of course, and the previous ones here, the eagle, and many completed drawings that was done. So I don't have any particular style of drawing. I just like to draw anything and everything. So let's take a look at how I draw. I typically draw in this fashion with the Note 10, Samsung Note 10, and then I use the finger to make my drawings. But in my case, I'm using the pen to draw. I'm using a stylus that comes with the Note 10. So you're perfectly free to use your finger at any phone of your choice, yeah? As long as it's an Android phone. And the app is available from here. So remember the logo here, the Paintology. You might do a search for Paintology, and all the other competitors are clambering onto the keyword Paintology. And so they're pushing their apps thinking that this is the app you're looking for, but in reality it is this app. So you'll find it within the list, the first item, if you did do a search. So just make sure that this is the logo you're looking for, and then download the app. Okay, so and then you'll see some screenshots of the drawings that can be made with this app. So why am I different, or why is this different to other drawing apps, and why should I care, right? Well, the thing is, have you seen any digital drawing app that allows you to make natural drawings like this? Probably not. And it's a result of the fact that I come from a traditional background and I apply the same methodology or methods of fundamental core skills of art to the digital medium as well. You may not believe it or not, but you can still apply the same skills, same traditional skills to the digital medium. Many people make the wrong assumption that everything in digital apps has to be used with tools, one tool, blending, blurring, shading, and all that. You see, this is just a shade brush. So I like keeping things simple, and I'm sure many traditional artists like to keep things simple, and that is the beauty of traditional mediums, oils, acrylics, watercolors, and so I've introduced, I brought back that essence of drawing back into the digital medium, and therefore I stick to one or two lines. But if you ask me to blend, I don't have a blending tool. I'm going to do it by hand. And the sheer fact is, by doing it by hand, you're actually faster than a typical digital artist who's going to make it using all kinds of digital tools, because half the time they're accessing tools, whereas all the time I am just drawing. And that's the beauty and pleasure of drawing, like in the traditional medium. So but understand that I'm a very advanced user of Photoshop. I've been using it for 20, 30 years, but I never use it for typical drawing. I would use this for my pleasure of drawing. That I would use for illustration, vector graphics, brochures. I've used it for umpteen. I've produced thousands of artworks, but not artworks like this. They were artworks designed for the web or internet or the website or logos, graphics, anything like that. And for image manipulation, etc. For text control, there's so much more powerful. So let's go ahead and let's open up a few others so I can show you. Let me see. Sorry, I want to see if I've saved it. Yes, I have saved it. Just want to be certain. So, so let me show you a few of the drawings I've done. This one came with a twist. This particular one, it's in black and white. So if you take it out of the grayscale, it will come in there. This is in color. So this was an interesting drawing. This is where your creativity comes in. I started using block coloring to make this drawing, and then I realized this was an entire lake at the foreground. Can you believe it? Then I realized, you know what? I saw some sharp edges, reflections of the mountain on the lake. And then I thought, you know what? I'm just going to skip that and do a waterfall. And that's what I did. And it turned out to be not bad, right? I think you'll probably appreciate what I did. And then many other examples. If you go to that page, you'll see all of them. And this one was an interesting one. This was drawn on the phone as well. It looks when I showed that to my daughter, because she's 9 years old, and she had to come closer and squint to make sure it wasn't a photo. But this was done with block coloring as well. And then I did a twist on this drawing, and I made, let me show you, I made this particular one as well. You can see so many ways you can draw. And it doesn't look like digital, does it? It is the natural way of drawing, bringing it back to the digital medium. It's not using the myriad of tools that other app developers. Remember, the app The digital, I've studied this in great detail. The digital apps, drawing apps, has evolved not to serve the needs of typical artists like you and me who love to draw in traditional and want to see the same in digital. It was designed to support the tools that was already there. It came about to serve the creation of online content, online graphics, logos, etc. And that's why Photoshop was the predominantly bigger, the brother of all drawing tools. And that's why a lot of digital artists become accustomed to it. And they're still accustomed to the tools. They don't probably understand that you can draw like this, and they continue, and they do serve a big niche, which is the graphics industry, and some of them go on to do 3D animation, and that's fine. If you want to go up that path, that's perfectly fine. But if you want to draw the pleasure of drawing that you enjoyed in traditional, this is the way to go. And I do it all the time. I do, as you can see, I'm diligently doing daily live stream drawings, because not only because I want to and I enjoy it, but I want to share this finding with you guys so you can have the same fun as I do. So again, just keep in mind that this app is available on the Google Play Store, and I'm going to show you a few other things. Google Play Store, and you can, as I've shown you this page, you can also go to one of another important piece I want to share with you. It's the Google Classroom. Again, you'll find a link in the description. This takes you through the steps of drawing. So remember, this this doesn't tie you with Paintology. It teaches you skills in drawing, the skills that you need. People bypass those skills through tools, and then they forego the learning of art techniques, which is what allows me to make drawings I showed you earlier. Okay, so please do join this free Google Classroom. It will really rapidly increase. If you're serious about drawing, then you should go this way. If you like watching, then that's fine as well, because you probably won't see any unique ways of drawing in the digital medium. So it's entirely up to you. But I would take the time to learn and practice art, because why? Because it's completely the opposite, polar opposite of the social media, where your brain has to be alert to all these things people are saying, doing, you know. And then with this, your time off. It's just pure, simple time off, and you lose yourself in an hour or so in a drawing. That to me is a huge, tremendous therapeutic health benefit. I'm not saying it just to lure you into this. I'm just showing you the pure pleasure. In my opinion, a lot of people want to go into drawing because the reason why they want to get into drawing is because they see the enormous satisfaction and pleasure in the other person, and they want to have a little bit of that. It's not necessarily the final piece of art. I think it's the journey. And this is the journey that I'm going to take you along with me and teach you the art techniques. Okay, so let's go back to our drawing. And remember, I downloaded the drawing. So this is very easy. Paintology app is very intuitive, nothing complicated. This is where all your saved paintings are. And the tutorials is an excellent section. It has tutorials divided by paint by numbers, pencil drawing, trace drawing, and so you should go through that and see what you like. Paint by numbers is exactly that. You open it up, and away you go. Let's pick a drawing we can do. For example, the Simpson paint by numbers. Look, it's got three. You can use the three colors, line shade, line drawing, right? Tick it up, and then see, and then pick the one, Sorry, pick the one. You can see. So this is some of them are obviously labeled, so you can follow these. This is an excellent way to improve your drawing strokes. And you can see this one as well. I'll show you this one. This 5833 is an important number. Look at this 3 here. 6. Oops, you gotta click it properly. 6, you can see, and then you can zoom, rotate, and be comfortable just like a powerful drawing canvas. Okay, and then I'm going to show you, this number is quite important, 5833. This allows you, and it's tied with the Google Classroom, right? It's tied with that. Let me show you how, because there's so many tutorials, sometimes it's hard to wade through all the tutorials. So 5833, search, and now behold, you have the actual tutorial opening up. So Google Classroom makes a lot of use of that. So it will allow you to rapidly come to, it's tied to these tutorials, it's paced with your skill level, and you just accelerate. So when you learn these skills that I'm going to teach you, it is an open free classroom for now, but ultimately I will have to monetize this because I've put an enormous amount of effort, time, money in developing this app. So just to let you know, take advantage while you can, while it's free, yeah? And then since you're the early newcomers to this app and its capabilities, take advantage of learning the streams, all the resources that are available. And one thing I want to mention, take advantage of commenting, because I do answer all the comments, yeah? So take full advantage of that. You may not have it later on down the line. So let's go to draw and then open up that image that we just want to draw. It's a beautiful image. I picked this subject because I've been trying to find all kinds of subjects, and I've been telling my users, please choose a subject for me, and then nobody seems to comply. So I'm having to go through my own and seek subjects that I like. So this is a block color. I'm going to do a block color. I'm going to show you how powerful block coloring is. Do not let others tell you you should use this app, you should use this brush, you should use that. And then just just don't try and follow the herd. I never follow the herd. I follow my own intuition and my own judgment, and I'm also pretty good at measuring at what skill level I am. But I have a deep desire to improve, and that's what propels me, and that's what in the space of a few years have brought me to a level. And believe it or not, in the 2 months I've shown you on a daily basis of the live stream, I've got to a point where I can see the remarkable improvement I have made with my understanding of tones, and also improving my drawing strokes as well as improving my skill level. It's a huge, it's a very obvious difference. Even though I was reasonably good, I have seen myself improve so much more rapidly, and that's what draws me in even more to the creation of art. So block coloring is simply this. It is the top half is the reference image, and you might have seen this in other apps, right? The bottom half is your drawing image, okay? It's the drawing. So anything you draw here will be put here, okay? Let me show you. Let me put a blue color here. That's your drawing, okay? And this one is the reference image. So what does it do? Yep, you got it. It allows you excellent control over over your image. Like, for example, you can change this and then closely follow the horse there. That's a trace. That's simply a trace, but it's traced at so much more powerful level than a simple traditional done with traditional, and I've taken full advantage of this in this block coloring. So what is block coloring? It is the application of colors, of the colors that are true to the reference image, and then bringing about the tones and the colors to your drawing canvas. And that is fundamentally what artists do in the traditional medium, and then I've just brought it in to the digital medium. Okay, so we first select, and this does not require any drawing experience. Okay, let me show you what I mean. Right, if I'm going to take it to, like, say 19%, 20%, keep the line. This is a line brush. Okay, and then this is what makes it supremely versatile and powerful. I select the color picker here on the top right, okay? And then I put my mouse over here. See that? That selected the color of that horse just where I rested my stylus. Again, on the near the mouth there. That's the color it's picked. So it's picked the perfect color, and we take full advantage of that in doing our block coloring. We lay down the exact tonal colors of this reference image on our drawing. This is our drawing, as you can see, and we continue to do that until we build up the drawing. So that's block coloring. You could complete a whole entire picture through block coloring, or you could, as I sometimes do because of the sake of speed and also to tune my mind into understanding tones and selecting my own colors, because in freehand drawing, you don't have this capability of the trace. And I use that for photorealistic drawings when I'm doing in freehand, looking at another object on another device, another picture, or looking at an image in front of me, like a apple or a pen or a pencil, right? So then you've tuned your mind into the shading, the tones that are required to bring to your own drawing. That is the real power of block coloring. So what I'm thinking is, I don't know how new you are. I wish I could chat with you guys, but you can tell me what's your level of skills, right? And if you tell me your level of skill, then I can take you through just entirely by block coloring, and then introduce you to a sort of a freehand type of drawing that finishes this drawing. Okay, so this is the way I usually typically use, and that's the way I drew the portrait of the Indian actress yesterday. So in this, I'm just going to do block coloring and see how it goes. Okay, so now the first thing I'm going to do is, this image, I see this wonderful head of a horse, probably pony, and then there's some background of another horses going on at the back. We don't want that. I want to just focus on this image of this beautiful horse, and then use some of the green to take out all the green all the way around. I'm not going to add this distractive horse there, or even this horse. And then I'm going to diffuse this green. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'll do the background. Okay, select the background. Okay, so this is, I'm already adding some creative touches to it. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to select in the top half. I've got it at 20%, and it's a line brush, as you can see. Okay, and then I'm going to clear the previous palette, and then I'm going to select that green. Okay, and then select another green, which is of a different color, obviously. Yeah. All right, and I'm just going to finish the background. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to extend this background all the way. Right now, I'm just laying down very bold, basic colors. Okay, I'm just going to do where the background shows the green. All right, okay. And then I think I got a good size brush for that. So I'm going around, but don't worry if you overlap, because this is a very broad way of. This is the first foundation, is the part of the drawing process that I talk about. Let's see what I've got here. So I got the top half here. Now I said to you that I was going to take some of that green. So I'm going to do this. This is what I'm going to do. So this is how creative you can become. Let's go all the way and follow this horse all the way down so we know so we don't follow all the way down, okay? And not being too, because when we get down to a drawing process, we'll be more detailed later on, okay? That we will zoom in. You see, this zoom facility is really what gives it power. Okay, I think this is part of its horse. So I'm just drawing the outline to make sure that I can get rid of some of those distracting background, and I have a line where I can meet to continue that green. Right, so what do we have? They're perfect. So now I'm going to take it all the way to the extreme end, and then I'm going to use some of my colors. Oops, I forgot I need to larger color. Right, I'm not too worried about what green I'm picking, but notice I'm not picking the same solid color. I'm just using that. Okay, there. That green, let's do that green now, why not? All right, excellent. Okay, and then let's pick something from this color here, why not? And we don't care because this is going to be a diffused background color, and then I got this color here. Right, we're not too worried. Okay, and then you see this method of drawing, believe it or not, is very similar to drawing in traditional. And I've been doing that for a number of years, and I find it perfectly fine. But not many people can do it because they don't have the art skills. They don't have the techniques down. And this is where I teach you the techniques. Now let's see what we've got. Perfect. We've made the green, taken out those distracting images, and now this is what we're going to do. And then let's save this, right? So you don't lose your work for any reason. And now, by the way, this is part one of two-part classes. The one after an hour, I spend an hour doing this, and I plan on finishing the drawing. I've noticed that most of my drawings takes 1.5 hours and outside of the tutorial to finish. So my plan is to finish this drawing in 2 sittings. So it's rare that you will see a drawing complete from start to finish, and I'm going to show you this. So now I have that. I'm going to, actually I've been told by my developers that I need to always save. Okay, and then open it up again because they're doing some testing on this prototype that we're working on, okay? So you don't have to do that. I'm working on a prototype design. So now let's see if I'm going to be comfortable with the brush about half the size. And I can get this. This almost works, right? I think we're all right. So let's put this down really quickly. Look at these colors. What I'm doing is I'm just following the tones. This is where your understanding of tones will rapidly increase. Don't worry about the details of it yet. Look, I'm picking this tone, and then I'm picking this dark tone, and that's all I'm doing. I'm just doing the first broad colors there. Okay. And I don't have actually, just to let you know that anyone can draw. I don't have any formal training in art. I just thought I had a knack for it. But I grew up doing technology. See, I'm picking up the tones. You just do exactly what I'm doing. And believe me, then your eyes will open wide open to what drawing is all about and why you haven't been able to achieve what you've been able to achieve. So look at this. Just going to go rapidly Can you see the tonal tones varying? Tones meaning the different shades. You don't need any drawing skills. Look, I'm just simply going color picker, and I'm going to show you the head, picking the tones that are sort of roughly equivalent to the tones that I'm seeing here. And remember, an image consists of thousands of tones, and our job is to replicate, it's challenging, is to replicate these tones as quickest way possible. And that's really, in essence, what drawing is about, to make impressive drawings that have depth, volume, shape, form, everything that you come to understand what good drawings are all about. It's really the fundamental training of art that you need to learn, that's all. So this, you see, I'm not using any tool, just drawing. And that's the real pleasure of drawing, believe me. I don't think I would want to draw with all tools every time I have to access tools for blending, access tools for filling in objects. It's just not my cup of tea. Well, I would of course use it for when I'm doing web graphics and that. Right, I'm just doing roughly getting the tone. Do you see how I'm laying down the tones? And I'm not even drawing. I'm not even thinking, but you do enjoy the moment while you do draw like this, block coloring. It's a wonderful experience. I came across this technique when I was waiting in the hospital waiting room, waiting for an assessment. And then there was a long wait, after the COVID. And so I took my phone with me, and then I started drawing Will Smith before his notoriety. And then I did some famous paintings, Van Gogh and Constable. And I was using this method of drawing, and I thought, wow, this is so addictive and fun. And then I realized it actually led me to a path of tonal coloring, the very subject that most artists will talk about in great detail, tonal coloring, tonal colors. But the problem is they demonstrate it in traditional mediums, and it's so hard. It's not easy. Because in traditional, you've got to get the exact pencil, but luckily, now that you have the Paintology, you can do this, follow along with me. There's nothing different. I'm not using anything different to how if you had it 10% and 100% density on the line brush. That's all, and you zoomed in at 160%, okay? All right, see these tones? I'm just picking out these colors that are directly behind this image, and that's all I'm doing. And look how quickly I've managed to this, and then we're going to refine this tone. Okay, so you can see how I'm doing it, looking at these tones and then immediately picking the color brush in order to get these. See that? I can see a uniform color here, so that's what I'm doing. Just filling it in. See that? How quick that was? That is the underlying block coloring, and now you can go to your heart's content and just simply, if you wanted to, go with this. And really all you need is go with this, use the zoom function, and then look, you could go to this this brush and then refine this eye. I'll show you. Look how I'm going to do it. Look at that, even that's too big for the details we want to produce. Right there. There. Then you can see what that looks like. Look, Look at that eye. The eyes are already popping out now, isn't it? So I'm going to do what my developer told me, and you carry on doing this. Save. How are we doing for time? We got plenty of time. Yeah, we're just over the halfway mark. So now I'm going to finish this in block coloring. I'm not going to show you the technique because this is so easy. You can load any image of your choice and you'll be super impressed with achieving this. Just achieving this would make you probably happy, right? Okay, so I'm going to do couple of things. I'm going to first blend the background. I'm going to take you away from this block coloring and show you how to blend the background. Okay, so I'm going to do what my developers told me and open it up again. Then open that up. There you are. Okay. So I'm going to go back right. This left side is my drawing. This right is the actual reference image. Okay. So now I'm going to pick a brush size. Let's say 12% for now, for argument's sake. And then here is what the magic comes in. I'm going to switch to shade. Okay, got the shade brush, 12%. And watch what happens. I'm going to take this screen and I'm going to blend this screen out. Look at that magic, isn't it? You're like thinking, how the hell do you do that? And look, same thing. That green I'm going to pick and blend it in. You're thinking, what's going on? And if you'd used a tool, what would you think will happen? You'll be accessing the tool setting points for the blending and God knows what else, but that's why I don't draw like this. If I wanted a precise image for vector illustrations, yeah, of course I'll turn to Photoshop. But this drawing for me, sitting here showing you this, requires a completely different approach. See how I'm blending it? One of the quickest blending techniques that I can think of. So I've got it at 12% shading. That's all you do. Pick the colors and you'll be like, wow, didn't know I could diffuse the background like that. Okay, there. All right, 12% seems to be a good brush size. Use sort of circular strokes if you want, okay? There, that just completely melded into the background. Let's take this circular approach. Look at that. Look how it's melded into the background, isn't it? Look how easy that was. So easy. Right? Okay, now you can see that's why we have now routinely everyone uses the portrait mode when they want to diffuse on the background. Even TVs do that. They actually have an object at the front and then they diffuse the background so it looks like the images, but in fact it's not the focal image like the horse here. So did you see how we did taking away the distraction and just purely focused on that? So now we're going to I think I'm okay with the background. I don't think I need to do any more. So let's save this, and I'm going to save it, of course, for you know why. And otherwise my developer will slap me on the wrist, sorry. Okay, so we got this, wonderful colors. And now let me show you how to improve and go further without any drawing experience. This is what you need to learn. No drawing experience needed. So we're now going down to practically 2% or 1.5%, and you'll see now. And then we've gone back to the line brush. Okay, go back to the line brush, 1.5%, 100%. I'm not even showing you this. And then we're just simply going to draw the shapes there. Look. Okay, just continue putting the colors down. And these are the colors, the very colors of the reference image. So which means that you can get close replica of the drawing just purely by doing this. And then I'm just working on this harness, right? Just to show you what's going on. Oh, do you see what I'm doing? I'm trying to pick the color, but I should actually go down here and pick our color. Okay, make sure you do that. Otherwise, you're going to pick the background color. Got it? Yes. Good job. Well done. And now we'll go back just above the halfway because we're working on the hair, the actual image, and then just, and then just let's work our way around here. Not doesn't have to be detailed. Right, just follow halfway and then just follow the details. And we're going to try and capture this. Look at this beautiful metal. Got to show you. This is going back when I was waiting in the hospital, and I just kept following what the underlying reference image was telling me to do. You see it? Am I using any drawing experience? I'm not. I'm just filling the gaps. What is there to learn? If you think that this requires drawing skills, you're quite mistaken. It doesn't require any drawing skill. All it requires is knowing where the different shapes are. That's all. Okay, just doing that. So this is all through block coloring, okay? There, can you see I'm following up on these little bits and pieces that make up the original because I got the traced image. Look at that wonderful colors there, and you get to see in detail, right? And then we just keep working on this. And I think what we can do is we can probably finish off and then carry this drawing into the next tutorial, okay? Look at that lovely whiter tone, right? That's coming here, and then you got another tone here. This really tunes your brain. It's the example I give, right? For example, people don't know. Beginners ask a lot of questions as to how to go about drawing, and my advice to them is stop thinking, just get on with it, you know. But they're really hesitant, and they see all the good work, and they're so sitting on the sideline. Unfortunately, you'll be sitting on the sideline most of your life if you have that kind of thinking. You really need to get on with it, just like I am here. Right there. Don't overthink where you're going to go, how you're going to do it. That's what really puts people off. See, this is probably a green path. And look, I've picked the horses, right? So what do you have to do? Yeah, you got it. Take it to my canvas and pick these colors, baby. Not the colors of the original that we had. And then go back and then pick the colors of the... This is quite interesting. I haven't drawn in this way for a while, but it's a perfect opportune time to show you. So I'm going to just go here. I'm going to focus on the actual... Okay, let's see what we have here. Look at that. Look at this spurs and the And it's just coming together, isn't it? So you can see where this is heading. This is heading towards drawing that's going to improve. No tools, no unnecessary layering. You know, people are fixated by that and they think digital art should be done with all layers. And if you don't have layers, you can't do anything. If you don't have thousands of brushes, you can't draw. Have I moved out of the line of the shade? No. This is the pure essence of drawing, and I encourage anyone to draw like that. And then they could, and some of you naysayers, it's tracing, isn't it? But you have to understand, I'm tracing because I'm developing core skills in art. If you wanted to make 100 sprint runner, it's basically like saying you want to make them a world-class Olympic runner. It's basically like saying, don't do anything except go up the 100 meters up and down for 100 times each day. Nothing else. 100 times each day. And that's like ridiculous. No one's going to train like that. There's a whole whole load of stuff involved in training an athlete. Stamina, food intake, everything. But what you're saying, what you're advising others is, don't use stress, just do it and learn. You can, I'm not saying you can't, but believe me, that person will take multiple times longer to reach their level of ability and skills. Because look at the skills required. Speed, like the way I'm drawing, right? Try and match my speed if you can, right? And the way that comes from developing, from drawing, from knowing, and from improving, from using tools like this. So just going to focus on this beautiful man. Can you see these? Yeah, just working on them. And then anything. So just getting these colors. And that's all we're doing. Getting these wonderful colors. Look, there's a white here and there's an orange. We've already captured that. And there's that beautiful lines of grey. Right? This really does help you more ways than you can possibly imagine. Right, I'm picking the colors, just making sure I've localized colors. Right, let's see where we're going. We're taking the harness all the way. See the blue? Because we had a broad brush, we didn't capture the localized colors here, right? Let's see. Wonderful. I've actually made quite a few horses in freehand and also in block coloring, but I think mainly in freehand. This deep black color, right? All these are the colors that make up this wonderful image. The sensation of realism is like, you cannot be put into words unless you draw like this. So let's see what we have here. That's pretty good, isn't it? We've come a long way from what we started, right? So what are we doing for time here? Because I usually take a quick break as well. You know what? I'm very happy with that, and I think I'm gonna try, and of course the aim is to get as close to that, but that may not be possible. But what we can do is I can take you in the next step of the drawing, which is in part 2, which you will find. So I'm gonna stop here and have a quick break, and then hopefully you can get ready for you can have a break for yourself and get ready for the next part 2. You'll see the link in the description, so please by all means click on it and then wait for me. I'll be hopping onto that in about 10 minutes. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Thanks. Bye-bye. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe, please. Thank you.